Hallo, goedemorgen mensen. Dit is jouw meneer Claudio. Wat doen die show vanavond? Everybody, welcome to the show tonight. Can I just say something? Matt, why is that smile not going from one side of the screen to the other one? You're too damn passive for this intro.
This is the only face I have. I've checked. This is what I got. This is what I got.
Matt was quite shocked with that introduction with the Afrikaans. We didn't even know Claudio had that in him.
He didn't until he grew the moustache. He's never done that before. Just when the moustache came along, the voice came with it.
Came along, yeah.
He can't get rid of it now.
we don't mess around, exceed the side of Downey. All right, okay, no, enough of that. So, guys, we've got in the house, we've got Goalloungetv looking mighty animated this evening, wearing an Italian shirt. We've got Celo also just chilling with his green cap because, you know, why not? Green are the colors of Italy. And then, like I said, no introduction for... Why are you putting that face, Matt? Look, I was looking at the flag. I want to ask you guys, do you guys know why the Italians play in blue?
No, I don't know the specific reason.
Why they wear blue?
Yeah, if their flag is green, red, and white.
But it's just always been the blues, man. It's just always been the colors. Even the rugby team is the same. Everything. Yeah, man. It's just a thing, man. I guess it's never even look at Japan. Japan wears.
Maybe if
blue,
anybody knows, they can write it in the comments.
Yeah.
What's up with Italy and blue?
Okay, it says yeah, Italian sports teams play in blue shirts rather than the colors of their national flag in a custom dating back to the country's pre-Republican days. Blue was the official color of the Royal House of Savoy, and this tribute to the Italian monarchy survives today.
There's a question.
Interesting.
You hear that?
Blue.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah, we heard that. We heard that. Thank you for that explanation.
Entertaining and educational. As always,
I try. You know.
All right, guys. Just before we kick off with formalities, there is something we need to get out of the way, and that is we're still running that competition. If you guys want to win some Euro 2020 Panini cards, all you got to do is comment. You got to like, and then if you follow us, that's a bonus. That is a bonus, and also shout out to Louis Murray, who is leading our Super Brew League table. And also, what's up, Aman? What's up?
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey, who's this?
Hey, what up, Celo?
Who's this guy, guys?
Oh, nice
who's this guy with the beard?
Sorry, guys, having a bit of a disaster with technology at the moment. Sorry, boys.
And you even grew a beard, eh? That's
I'll only shave it if England win.
No, man. No, if England win, you dyed blood, man. Like. Yeah, you dyed blood. Please, man. Please dyed blood.
100%.
The beard, so he's gonna do the upside down Foden.
Listen, I'm going grey already, boys. So I'm not far away. They won't need to use too much dye when they dye it. So.
Yeah, so the dyeing thing of the hair color, is that was that just a rumor, or the English team going to do it if they win?
I don't know if it's a legit thing. I've heard he said it. I don't know if every player is actually, I don't know if it's contractually bound or whatever. It'd be cool. I think that's going to be a popular hairstyle if they win it anyway. I don't know if all the players will do it, but I think quite a lot of fans will.
Yeah, I think you and Nick, if they do it, Celo, I think they have to go on board with bleaching their hair. What do you guys think?
During lockdown, doesn't that mean we've got to do it ourselves, which I think is a risky.
Very risky. It might turn green.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the work that I do is over video calls. I feel like it's going to set the wrong tone of the conversation.
Yeah. And it also would have been cool if Foden had scored already and celebrated like Gaza, but maybe he's saving it for the finals. So we'll see.
Can you imagine? I'll lose my mind. I think my heart will actually stop.
Well, gents, before we talk about England, let's talk about Celo's team. And obviously, the three of us, between Wonga, Celo, and myself, we're obviously rooting for Italy in the final. We've got the two English boys on the left-hand side or right-hand side of the screen. I'm not sure how you're watching it or what the orientation is. But nonetheless... Italy.
Because some people will be watching from behind their screens and
behind the screen. Yeah, because what I see when I say top left, I see a guy with a bucket hat.
Exactly.
But also, some people are ambidextrous and they just have preferences. Like on the Mac settings or the PC settings, you can switch everything around if that's how you read. I mean, it's one of those things.
Shout out to Arjun. Thanks for joining us. Shout out to Dia. Thanks for joining us, guys. As usual.
What up, guys?
The regulars.
The big man now, June, is in the house. Okay, Wonga, you might as well start. You might as well start with Italy and Spain.
Man, it was a good game. And I even think, even though we're not going there yet, but even the England match, I think all these matches, like I said last time, past the last 16 were very entertaining matches. The one thing that baffled me in that game, I don't know if I'm being too critical. They were critical about Pickford yesterday with that free kick. Not many people were like, yeah, I should have moved his legs quickly. But then the Spanish goalkeeper as well. Surely he doesn't even attempt to dive. He just leans to the left. Like
the hair would have saved that.
Yes.
The hair would have saved that.
Like if you look at the replay, it's like it's just literally if he puts his hand out.
Yeah, because it goes.
He doesn't even need to dive. He doesn't need to dive. We see the ball coming in. That for me was the only thing that was...
He was weighted on the wrong foot. He had his weight on the wrong foot. So then Nick will tell you got to know where to put your weights, but if you're on the wrong, if you're not ready, if you're not set properly at the wrong time, it's easy to look at it afterwards and be like, you should have done that. But then, these are split-second things. We get to watch it in slow-mo.
And for me, I think that's where, Spain played very well. Italy also played well. But I think, look, if that's one that shouldn't have been a goal, And you look at Donnarumma, the saves he's made compared to his opponent. Spain should have won that game, really. He was doing really, really well that game. That other opportunity, I don't know who had it, but I literally thought it was a goal, and it was. You could say it was in line with the penalty box. It wasn't far out, and Donnarumma pulled it. It was 1-on-1. Surely should have been a goal, but he stuck that out. And yeah, I think everyone saw that when I saw Chiellini. What killed me with Chiellini was when he was chuckling with Jordi Alba before.
He was chuckling by himself. Yeah, Jordi Alba was like, "Bro, don't touch me," and he was like,
"He's hugging him." I was like, "Yo," and you can see it's not even phased. This penalty shootout is not even really. Even if it is, maybe he played it out quite well there. Jordi Alba looked mad stressed, in there already. And Shea Morata, bro, when he missed his penalty, I wanted to give the guy a hug, bro.
Why, man? Isn't that just perfect? It's perfect of his, perfectly defines his tournament. Finishing off with a penalty miss for his career.
My cousin was sitting there, and and he's like, this guy's definitely missing. Morata's missing. There's no way he must take this penalty. Next thing you know, and it was poorly taken as well. I think it looked a lot of nerves there. But the look on his face afterwards, that was. I don't rate the guy, but geez.
But he got the equalizer. But
that's from hero to villain. That was bad.
But even the equalizer, I don't know. Was there more that the keeper? I know we're talking about keepers now, so we might as well keep it on there. But on that,
how can he do better?
He just stood there.
In the box.
Morata just he hit that thing straight. He hit that thing straight. He didn't even. He was just like, "Well, I'm not going to."
He saved a similar shot. That's what I'm saying. He saved a similar one in the first half. But that one was. You could see Donnarumma was maybe anticipating that he was going to shoot the other way because he had the whole goal. He literally had the whole goal.
Coach,
either left or right.
Let the goalkeeper speak. Nick, what do you think of that?
I didn't watch that game.
It's funny, Silo. As soon as we started talking about it, I know we were going to angle it there, but as soon as we started talking about the keeper's positioning, Nick just did this.
I'll tell you about England, but I was away, so I didn't see that game. Sorry, boys.
This man. But
Stelo, you did talk about Martinez though for South America, Copa America, the penalty saves, the one that Arsenal made though.
Yes, man. Just a little 2 seconds there, bro. That guy is a beast in penalties. Arsenal, I don't even know what they were thinking, letting go of a goalkeeper who's very good. You're actually right. Arsenal weren't thinking. They let go of the wrong keeper. But yeah, so hey man, it's a keeper's game in the penalty shootout. Donnarumma saving the penalties that he did. I had a feeling that he was going to save at least one penalty, and he did. And then obviously Jorginho sunk the winning penalty. But yeah, man, Morata, you gotta feel bad. You gotta feel bad for him. You gotta feel
Jorginho, bro. That Jorginho, was there any doubt in anyone's head he was gonna put in the back?
No, there was no doubt. No doubt. Guys, there's a picture of the Spanish keeper clapping, and the ball just hit the net. So the ball was moved so slowly that the keeper went the wrong way, and he stood up and he still clapped to congratulate Italy. That's how slow the ball went in. But obviously he couldn't. It was obviously past him. He couldn't jump the other side. But I was like, no, that was just classic Jorginho. Probably top 2 penalty takers in the world, alongside Bruno. Cookie saying 3 Italy
Ronaldo.
and 2 England. I'd like to add myself. Yes, 4 Italy supporters. We got another Italy supporters. Arjun, Pumlani, Louis, Aman, Dia. Okay,
although
Dia's
Pumlani says it's coming home though. That's what he says. He's saying I think so. He might be in the camp with Matt and Nick.
I know Arjun is going to be an England supporter, definitely. Aman, I don't know. And Diaz, obviously, she's from London, so she has to be an English supporter. And then Louis.
Shame.
Yeah. Louis, you must tell us who you're supporting. But also, guys, I just want to comment on the Morata thing. I know you've said it defines pretty much his career. Also, wait, before we continue, shout out to Tuku Ketzel for joining us. And then also, Alex Stothard, he's finally joined us. He lives in the same house as Nick, but it's just so great that it's not affecting your Wi-Fi, Nick.
Man. We actually having a family dinner, so I've just shut off from it. They drinking wine and talking about the game, so I said, just if you want to hear my views, come on to Goal Lounge.
Oh, proper. That's good. That's
cool.
Okay, guys, but let's
almost,
talk about
if you think about it, it's almost like our first live studio audience.
Yeah. Jets, but the Morata thing I want to chat about. You know, I mean, the man goes in history for Spain. He does the thing, you know, scoring more goals than Torres and David Villa at major tournaments, and then he misses the penalty.
No,
and the
Euros,
sad thing
Euros,
is,
Euros,
sorry.
Euros.
And the sad thing is, that's the only thing people are going to remember. Or am I wrong there?
No, true, man. True. I think it always happens in major tournaments, man. Listen, what happens as your last kick, you know, is what they remember. You know, they don't remember that Morata scored the equalizer. You know, they remember that Morata is the one who missed the penalty. They don't even remember that what's his Danny Olmo missed the penalty and then shot it above the poles. He missed the first penalty. They forgot about Danny Olmo, but now they're focusing on Morata because Morata took the penalty later on, which is unfortunate. But that's what happens in football, guys. You always remember what happens at the end. England, if England after that game. Everyone's going to be talking about the penalty for just one day. After that, you're going to be like, hey, man, England made it to the final. Next year, we're going to ask who was in the final, Italy and England. You're not going to say, England cheated their way to the final or they got a soft penalty. You're going to say, who was in the final, England and Italy. You're never going to say how they got there.
But on that note, Celo, on that note, and I think that's a valid note to mention, Italy between the two sides, were they the better... I mean, Spain were obviously, in my opinion, they weren't the better side. But Spain was the better team. Yeah, so was the experience there?
I think for me, it comes down to probably the 2 best teams in the tournament are in the final. The teams that have consistently played well throughout the tournament are in the final. Regardless if Italy didn't play well in that game, they deserve to be in the final. The way that they've played, the way that they've rolled over teams, I mean, and I go back to what Celo was saying. You know, people are crying about flipping Denmark yesterday. I don't give a shit about Denmark, to be honest with you. And Denmark lost 2 games. Denmark lost 2 games in this tournament. And you know, if they didn't sit with 2 banks of 5 in their box, England probably would have scored a few more. So, you know, like this whole Spain maybe deserved to be in the final, and Denmark were robbed. The 2 best teams are in the final, and it's going to be great to see on Sunday.
Yeah, and ultimately that's how it works. You know, play better on the day or whatever. We don't measure the game. We don't measure games of football and who played better in the day. You measure it on goals scored, on who ponied up and put ball to net, and Italy and England both did that. So
it's so funny. Sorry, Wonga. It's just so funny the English fans are saying this because for years they've been crying about like other sort of incidences. If only this
but the
happened.
Liverpool
Or this
fans
happened.
group, you say people are crying
This is
foul.
international
I mean,
football. This is, sorry. Wait. Wonga wanted to say something, guys. What did you want to say, Wonga? What did you want to say?
And you, when Portugal went out earlier, you were also, not fair. They didn't get this. They didn't get that.
I didn't say it wasn't
conspiracy.
fair.
Conspiracies. You had conspiracies.
Bro, I've got conspiracies.
As the tournament started, you had conspiracies.
Yeah, you're just upset that our
conspiracies
conspiracies get us to the final and yours left you.
No. I claim the conspiracies. That's the difference. I claim the conspiracies and I put them out there. You guys say different things. You know, it's one thing, this and this and this, and now it's like, now it's the better team that won, and that's all that matters.
Okay, okay. So let's. Okay, can I quickly before Wonga goes in there? Can I listen to this? So England have not had the rub of the green since 1966. We've had people jumping in the air and punching the ball into goals, and we've had goals that have been goals that haven't been goals. You know, if it wasn't a penalty, I don't give. I do not give a shit. England are in the final. I hope there were 3 balls on the field as Sterling went down for the very correct penalty that was awarded, because I don't give a shit. England are in the final. It's at Wembley. It's coming home. So, England deserve the rub of the green. Matt, I think you agree with me.
Deserve. Definitely. That sounds like there's a lot of entitlement there.
Nick's right. The 2 best teams over the course of this tournament, and the Euros is a tournament. Let's not forget, this isn't a measurement of footballing goodliness over the course of a lifetime. This is a tournament where the teams who win the games are going to win the trophies, and the 2 best teams over the course of this tournament are in the final.
This is what I think. And Wonga, sorry, go ahead, Wonga. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going. Go ahead, Wonga.
No, you can go. But I was okay. I was going to say nothing of fact. I was just going to say that. I mean, Nick is right. He's got a point in saying that the best teams won. Like for me, Spain played outfield. They played very well. But Donnarumma, he's the goalkeeper. He's done his part. That's why they put him in the back of the net. So if he's played well, his team has played well. We can't just say because he saved them. No, his team played well. Means his team played well, and now they got the result. They put him there for a reason.
He did his job. Yeah,
that's all. Yeah, he did his job just like everyone else.
Wait to bring that back to the proper football chat. And
I think you've got your thinking. You got your thinking hat on again today, Wonga. I like it.
Yeah. Guys, please don't forget that Wonga is selling advertising space on his beanies. So if you're looking to advertise any product, especially products related to deep thinking, clearly this is a brand alignment that you could go for there.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. Well, we might as well just jump straight into this one because, the 2 English guys are getting loud. And also, I must say, when I was in England, and I was watching a couple of the Premier League games, when you sit there and you look at on your day-to-day and you walk through the streets and you catch the tube and you look at the English and you just think to yourself, wow, these people look absolutely useless. And then you look at them in the stands watching a football game. And then you're just like, where the heck does this passion and this power come? Like, there's an immense gathering that comes together. You just feel it when you're there, and you're like, well, now I get it. Now I know how they succeeded in World War I and World War II. It's just an interesting sort of feeling, and I think you could feel it. I think you could feel it in the crowd last night, like from watching it.
No, it was crazy.
Let's hear what they have to say, because the platforms there is the only match that Nick apparently watched was this game and
true. Yeah, actually,
the only one that mattered, isn't it, this week? The only one that mattered, because I've been singing "It's Coming Home" the whole day today. Have you guys been singing it?
No, I'm glad Newcastle are pretty shit.
It's coming home. Football. It's coming
Newcastle
home.
were United, Man United. This guy didn't stop singing.
Claudio, can you please go to Koketsu's comment there?
Which one?
That's what we just want on Sunday. That's all we want.
England is only going to the final so that we can enjoy their "It's Coming Home" tears. Yo.
You see the interesting thing with what I see with this, and it happens a lot with supporting England. There's a lot of people who support England or whatever, and not all of England fans. And I think to Arjun's point, the booing of the anthems, I hate that. I think it's so classless and stuff. There's a lot of England fans who have different opinions, but all England fans support England. Like, we love England. We just want them to win. There's disagree on a whole lot of things, but we're all behind the team. There's so many people who support whoever are playing England just because they want England to lose. And I think that's kind of what's going on here, Claudio, with the Italian flag.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who just want to, you know how many Italian shirts
Claudio
are
with
going to
the
get bought
Italian,
in the next 2 days, and it's almost like on the one hand.
So if you guys lose, you're not gonna have Italian food for the rest of the year.
No, I told my Italian friend I'm not having pizza or pasta until after Sunday. I'm going on an Italian diet.
I think you can eat it with like a smug look, just like, you know, I'm gonna have pizza. It's you on the field.
It's bangers and mash for me every night until the final.
Beans on toast for breakfast, bangers and mash for dinner.
Oh, damn, man.
Yeah. All right, wait.
They say
Yep.
No, I'm saying they say it's England. If you're not, it's actually, they say it's England versus the rest of the world. So if you're not supporting them, everyone else is obviously, against them. I think the other guys don't want to see them.
This side has shown, the group of players that are out there representing us now, is that they've, more than any generation probably since '66, they've taken that on, and they're just so kind of down to earth and cool about it. You even saw after Denmark scored, and I mean, we haven't even talked about that free kick yet, and it was an absolute rocket. I mean,
it's beautiful.
I know I've seen people say
only free kick to be scored this tournament, direct free kick.
Yeah, only direct free kick. It's crazy, and it deserved it. It was incredible. I don't think Pickford could have done much better. I think it was amazing. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think he's probably got longer arms than most of us. But anyway,
definitely longer than yours.
After that, if I mean, Nick, you like me have been watching England all your life, so normally in that kind of situation, that England start to panic and they just start throwing everything at it, and they lose their heads, and then we don't come back. There was immediate response. All the players, they were looking at each other. They'd obviously drilled for this. They knew eventually they were going to score. There was communication on the field. They went back to the plan, and they turned it around. And it didn't feel like watching a normal England side. And that's what it's been like this whole tournament for me, is that this is an England team who aren't caught up in the nonsense of all of us. We talk about it off the field. It's us against the world, and all of this. But the truth is, on the field, they're just doing the best job they can. So Arjun's got a good point about the midfield. I think that there were some gaps. I think Rice didn't have his best game. I think Phillips started slowly, but once Phillips got up to speed and realized what game was being played, he realized, because Denmark were really taking it to him in a way that some of the other teams we played haven't. Once Phillips figured out that was what was going on, Phillips was immense again. He was all over the field.
Yeah.
And I think Henderson could have come on for Rice a bit earlier than he did. But those are small things to worry about, and Southgate's going to be looking at it. But I think overall England played very well. I think they were the best team on the night. Bear in mind, Denmark over the course of the tournament so far had averaged 17 shots on goal per game, and England kept them down to 6 or something. So they as much as
it was 6 or 8 somewhere around.
England had a good performance, a really good showing of themselves, and even the penalty thing, was it dubious, whatever. Remember, 10 minutes before that, Kane had one denied.
Clear penalty. Clear penalty. No. Raheem Sterling was a clear. It was a clear penalty. Raheem Sterling's penalty is a clear penalty.
I tagged you guys in that angle.
Do you guys see those arms?
I was so disturbed.
That's the his legs.
Look at that, guys.
Tell's Photoshop work coming through, yeah.
So I'm gonna disagree, Matty, on the Pickford situation. If you just look at where he's standing, I feel that he's got no balls in the situation. I think he said, well, fuck, I can't see anything because they've got a bank of 3, a wall in front of the wall. And that wall, if you actually watch, moves across, so you can't see the ball even more. So I'm thinking in that situation, the only way you're going to see the ball is if you stand next to your post, which he did, and he still didn't see the ball. So I would then bank on standing closer to the middle, because if you look at where the ball went in, a couple, maybe a yard off the middle, and to be honest with you, I also think maybe a taller keeper would have saved it. And that's no disrespect to him. And a guy maybe with bigger arms. I mean, the taller you are, the longer arms you have, generally. But I do agree. It was a good hit. Listen, he hit it. He hit it well.
No,
21-year-old. Listen, 21-year-old who I thought was phenomenal on the night. I think until he went off. I'm not too sure if he did go off, but he was alive.
Yeah, they took him off.
He was alive via. And I honestly thought, I thought they got their tactics wrong in terms of making those early changes, because I thought they were very good at absorbing the pressure for England, and then their counterattacks were quite lethal. And the only saving grace really for England was Kyle Walker sweeping up with his pace.
100%.
He had an amazing game.
Yeah, but to be fair, if I'm honest with you, attacking-wise, I thought it was quite dysfunctional. I thought you had a Mason Mount drifting into wide areas that did not suit, the natural width that England have. And because we then don't have a natural number 10 in that number 10 area, you had Harry Kane with his, I called it last night, lethargic, awkward touches where when he looked tired, he just looked like he was going to give the ball away. And I said he needs to get in the box. He needs to be further up the pitch, and they needed someone, because the two sitters are not going to get close to Kane. But Kane obviously wasn't getting enough ball, so he was dropping into Mount's position. And then I thought it was a little bit messy from that point of view, and made it maybe a little bit easier for Denmark to get back into the game. Taking it to penalties and sort of taking as far as they did. But I think against an Italian team, I think that natural width is going to be important. I think Kane needs to find himself in the width of the box, because that's where he's going to score his goals. He's not going to score his goals controlling the ball in the middle of the field and turning and running at people. If he's doing that and there's natural width and he's playing the ball in behind, great. But it looked a little bit dysfunctional in my opinion.
Man, it's because he's trying to fit too many players in there. Go ahead, Silo.
But if you think a person like Mount, let's be honest, his tournament hasn't really been that great compared to the other attacking options that have started. So Saka has looked lively, has looked dangerous against Germany, and in this game
was dangerous.
Sterling
was lively.
Is leaving Arsenal.
Has looked dangerous. Come on, brother, come on.
But
and Sterling scored goals, about 3-4 goals, whatever. And he's been dangerous as well. Whereas and then Grealish as well has been an impact player. But then when you look at Mount, can you guys just remember a game where Mount has been amazing? Cool, yes, he missed 2 games because of the coronavirus, whatever. Then he played against Ukraine. I don't know. I didn't watch the Ukraine game. Maybe against Ukraine he played well. But this game, I don't think he played that well. The first game he didn't play well as well. So I think maybe he could be a person that you could take out. But also, you do know that the only person that loves Mount more than Lampard is Southgate.
But I think if you do look at it, Matt, you can attest to this. Besides the corona or COVID isolation incident with him, I think Southgate has planned around using Mount as the 10. Because as soon as he was available, he was slotted back in. So 100%. Personally, for me, I thought Foden was maybe slightly better than Saka. I think he gives a little bit more, whereas Saka, I would like to see come off the bench and run at players when they're tired. I don't think he is as effective starting. That's just my humble opinion. But I also think, as much as Sterling, well, guys, are you going to say Saka's better than Foden? Come on, then, guys, then we must.
How does Sterling score?
I prefer him starting.
How did the first goal came?
No, you would prefer Saka than Foden. I think Foden gives you a little bit of creativity. I think Saka is going to give you that.
Mason Mount's playing. That's what I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like a Foden coming from the side in. But I think Sterling deserves his chance because he's scoring goals, and he looks a threat. He does look like a headless chicken at times, and he does look like there might be a turnover waiting if he does lose the ball. But guys, he's scoring goals. He scored in nearly every game. So how do you take him out? But I mean, even a Jack Grealish, like, I don't know. I hope he didn't go off injured, but I hope it was tactical that they took him off because they put him on.
Definitely tactical.
He wins so many fouls, and if you watch him, he runs straight to the box because he knows they can't touch him then. And if they do touch him, it's
Yeah.
going to be a penalty. He's
Yeah.
so
But
direct
even-
in that way.
But to that point, though, Nick, to that point, why take him off at that time, extra time? Why not let him do that?
I don't know.
Waste time, hold the
Yeah.
ball, earn a free kick.
Yeah.
That's what he's
I,
good
I
at.
think,
Yeah.
but I think
He wanted to go a bit more defensive.
Because you
Yeah,
had
and I
already
think
scored the second goal.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked. You look when Trippier came into the midfield, he's not going to go forward as much as Grealish did. And then there was a period, I think it was about almost 3 minutes long, and they did sort of 50 passes in a row where they
Kept
just
the ball.
kept the
But
ball.
Matt, did you notice?
Never
Did
would
you
have done
notice
that
with
in past tournaments.
Foden? Phil Foden was in on goal, I think, 3 times in those 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes. And Harry Kane had the ball, and like Harry Kane is like looks like a giraffe when he's running because he's so tired. And I'm thinking like, just go kill the game off, and then you won't hear these Danish fans and the rest of the world actually complaining that they were robbed. But Phil Foden was getting frustrated because he had all the energy, and I thought just play him in and he'll go score the third goal. But guys, let's be honest. You know, we're talking about players. We haven't even spoken about Jadon Sancho. They have so much depth. They
But
are.
insane.
They.
I
That's
was
a valid
thinking,
point.
yeah,
Go
the same
ahead,
thing.
Wonga.
Like when it wasn't, I think it was the score still 1-1. You know, and you know maybe even you're sitting there. Obviously, I wanted the Danes to score, but it was you could. I mean, if you just looked at England, I mean, I think Southgate at that time only made 1 sub. I don't even think he made a sub, to be honest with you. And you're like, you just know they've got 5 subs, and the amount of choices they have. If they put all 5 subs on, they're gonna get their goal. You know, there's nothing, and I think that's the strength that England has, and especially the strength they will have going into a game against an undefeated Italy.
And what was interesting about that was Silo made a comment last night saying Southgate makes Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sort of changes, but to Denmark's detriment, to their detriment. I mean, they were doing really well, and then they made those changes, and then they just ran out of fresh legs too early.
Yeah.
And that was the difference.
And also not like for like, because he went from a 3-4-3 to a basically a 3-5-2, which or you can call it a 5-3-2, whichever way you want to call it.
Yeah.
Whereas those 2 attackers, which is Domsgaard and then Brathwaite were playing as almost like wingers, and then Dolberg was playing in the middle, and then he took those 2 off, and then he put Paulson and the guy in the middle, and then just changed things, and then they just looked leggy, and then I just thought that England could win 2-1 within 90 minutes. That's what I thought. England could win 2-1 within 90 minutes.
I think he had hoped.
100%.
I think that coach had hoped that he would have won. Yeah, I think is that what you were suggesting?
I think they were playing for penalties by that point. I think.
No, but I'm saying that's in that second half when he brought on. Yes, he brought on the players, but I think he
hoping that he could win the game, maybe.
Yeah, but
in 90
he
minutes.
lost the game.
I don't know. I think at that point they were playing for penalties because they brought on the extra midfielder to try and take. Because by that point, Phillips had really grown into the game, and Rice was finding his feet, and England were controlling the midfield a lot better by then. You sort of think about the hour mark, and I think he brought on the extra midfielder to try and take back control in the midfield. And I think at that point they realised, because also I didn't like our odds in a penalty shootout. Schmeichel was looking on fire.
I didn't.
Schmeichel, you guys are going to lose. You're going to lose.
You guys are
And
lose
I think they knew that too. So I think they knew if they could hold on and just take us to the end, they were going to win it. And England knew that too. And I think that's why England played the way they did. They played very aggressively to get that second goal. And I think both coaches, very tactically astute, really know their players, really know how to get the best out of their squads. And it was in that way, it was a great kind of battle to see, really kind of 2 relatively young coaches out there doing cool stuff. And I think it was, you could see throughout the game, there were points where it could have gone either way. Both sides had their chances. Both sides kind of showed why they were there. It wasn't like, if you think about the England-Ukraine game, it was really one-sided, which was great to watch as an England fan. A little bit unfair on Ukraine because it kind of undermined how they got there. You kind of only remember that they lost 4-0. But with this game, it was clear Denmark were not there to make up the numbers. They really had a go at it. England, I do think, were the better side over the course of the game. There's no doubt about it. They had more chances. They had more control. You know, whatever the conspiracy theorists in Italian flags are saying.
Big saves. So he has a nice stat there for you, Silo. Arjun's saying in 1966 was the last time England made a final. The next season, Man United went on to win the league. So if England win or go to they're in the final, he's saying maybe 2022 is the year for Manchester United to come back to the top.
Yeah, the
Let's
players
hope not.
they've signed, it's not,
Hey,
it's
man,
not far.
let's see. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. We can only dream, as a club. But yeah, we'll save that for after it doesn't come home.
Yeah, we're dreaming
Also-
as well, but you get 9 minutes, bro.
But don't you think there, Maddie, are you not, is there not a part of you that's actually shitting yourself for Sunday? Because
Oh.
like I am very loud and I am very vocal, but like this could really
Oh,
explode
yeah.
in my face.
Oh, definitely.
I might just turn my phone off for a
Yeah.
week.
That's
it-
the thing about this England thing, isn't it? This it's coming home thing. Is that it has
you
to
see-
end well, otherwise it just doesn't work.
No, but do you see the thing is that this goes back to what I was saying. Like me and Nick have been have been supporting England from the start. You guys have been able to. Wonga supported 6 different teams during the course of this tournament. He was one of the boys early on.
I'll
Hey,
support
you know,
one.
it's-
Four
it's kind of-
on me.
You got to live by the sword, die by the sword, kind of a thing. Like we're here now. This is my team. You know, like and in many ways that's like the club affiliation. You know, like I've always supported Tottenham. Very often they don't do well. And same with England, like it might not work, and I am shitting myself. Like Italy are not, they're not mugs. They're not just coming there to give us the trophy. It's going to be a tough game. That said, I feel more confident about this England side than I have felt since '96, and I was 10 then and didn't really understand football well enough to know that we probably weren't going to win it. But this time round, we look solid. We look like we could pull this off. That doesn't mean we will. It could all end in tears. But I'm not going to regret having supported England this tournament. This has been a wild ride. It's a group of players that I really like. It's a manager I can really get behind. And they've done some performances that have surprised and delighted me. You know, the Ukraine game, I did not see 4 goals coming. Even yesterday,
But-
the resilience after we went a goal down, didn't see that coming. Loving it.
I think you're right though, Matt, because they haven't had. I mean, they had quite a poor group stages. If you look at it, they were dead average. But I think you said something key recently, is that Southgate treats each game as its own game, as its own assignment, as its own sort of needing a solution for that sort of problem.
Which you should do, in my opinion.
You should, but he hasn't. I mean, he hasn't relied on form essentially, which is probably the best way to sort of do well in a tournament. You know, take each game as it comes, and you find yourself in a final, and they're 90 minutes away potentially from lifting a trophy. It would be unbelievable.
It would be huge. And I think to your point, Claudio, like saying that's how you should do it. That's not how England have ever done it. England have picked the players to win them a tournament. And they've been like, we've got Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes. We'll throw them all in and they will win a tournament, regardless of what happens game on, game on. What Southgate does is, I need the players who are going to win this next game. I'm going to set myself up to win the next game. And that's how he plays. And then he looks at the likes of Grealish and I'm going to bring him off the bench. I'm going to do a trick with him. And that is a way that, and you can see the sides where that hasn't worked. France is probably an example of a side who didn't use their squad well. And they played to win the tournament without necessarily playing to each game. And, you know, regardless of the soap opera dramatics that have followed them out of the tournament, you could see game management was an issue for them. Similarly with Portugal, took them a long time to decide that the Ronaldo Fernandes
the coach didn't know what he was doing.
Didn't work. And I think that's the difference here. And same with Italy. They've also played to win this thing, but not by throwing on every player they've got all the time. They play quite a tactically smart game. Mancini knows what he's doing. We've seen this. We know him well from the Premier League. And I think this is and that's what makes it really exciting. This is not going to be a one-sided thing. You sometimes go into a final and you know who's going to win it. None of us really know for sure. I mean, other than Ryan, who's clearly 100% correct here.
Ryan, easy win. Before we actually discuss the final and the prospects of both teams, I have to throw in my conspiracy, like I normally do, about how this penalty was given yesterday. We know that the English refs obviously have been living in England for a while because a lot of games have been played there, right?
Did you hear the commentators, bro? Anyways, carry on.
What did they say? Wonga?
No, I'm just saying the bias
was
the
rubbish.
commentators had.
Yeah,
but anyways,
commentators were rubbish.
But-
We need some Scottish and Irish commentators for the final. Damn, man, Peter Drury and that guy. He even said nonsense. That was a nonsense decision. I was like, yeah, bro, like flip, man.
Maddie, just switch off. Just put your volume down, Maddie. Put your volume down.
Actually, all you gotta do is
can you
flip your
imagine?
mic.
I can't hear you.
I
can't hear anything.
Okay, wait, guys. Wait. You need to hear my conspiracy here.
Yeah.
So we all know the movie Inception, A Dream Within a Dream, etc., etc. We know that these refs have been living in the UK for the last while, and that song, It's Coming Home. I'm telling you, wherever they've been, in their rooms, while they're having breakfast, on the bus that they're taking, they've been playing this song, It's Coming Home. I'm telling you, they've driven these refs crazy. If they don't let them have it, it's just going to keep playing in their heads, and they're just going to keep playing that song. So they just thought, well, let's give it to them so we can never hear the song again. Because that's also, let's face it, what's going to happen if England do win? That's what I'm worried about. Is the song ever going to be played again, or is that it? That song can't be played again.
Mark Clattenburg said, especially about that decision. Okay, there was contact, whether or not it was.
Ryan's on the good shit. Sorry, Nick. Ryan's on the good shit.
I like Ryan. He can stay.
So whether or not it was a lot of contact, there was contact to some degree. Okay, so he gave a penalty. Now,
1 degree.
Mark Clattenburg was called into one of the shows. I think it was ITV, and he had said the reason why VAR didn't sort of overturn it was because the question that is asked is, was there no contact? That would be the question along those lines. Was there no contact? Is there a reason for me not to give a penalty? Their response would typically be, there was contact.
There
was contact.
Let's go back to
I read about this too, and it was saying...
No, but... Okay, you go ahead, Matt, but I need to drum something home here.
Yeah, because I was saying, what I read was the VAR, like Nick's bang on. They're not going to overturn decisions when it's a 50-50 like that. When you view it, there's clear contact.
50-50.
No, that's not 50-50.
There's clear contact.
There's contact. There's clear penalty. It's a clear penalty. Clear penalty.
The Kane one was just as clear, but the VAR, they have to... They're going to...
guys.
Can I tell you the first time I had this conversation about content?
Sorry,
Nick.
If Denmark got the penalty, what would you guys say under that same?
Well, I'd say that's really weird because they haven't been in the penalty box for 20 minutes. So how did the penalty kick?
Okay, I want to talk about this. Oh gosh!
You can only score the
talk
goals.
about,
You
no,
can only create the chances that are put in front of you, and that's England with a better team. That's what the semi-final is there to judge.
But I want to talk about this contact in the box.
Soft. All the Italy fans watching Immobile lying on the floor for a dislocated eyelash, and then you guys are going to talk about soft penalties when he was clearly trying to buy one.
But he didn't score.
If you did,
no, but he was trying to buy one. He was trying to get a penalty.
Yeah.
So then they scored, and then he gets up, and then he runs away.
That's exactly the same thing.
But they didn't get a penalty from it. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
It's not the penalty because he didn't.
I didn't get a penalty. Sterling got a penalty, and he's done this so many times.
So a crime.
So you're saying if it was going down to the ground, he got given a penalty.
That's a soft penalty, guys.
So you're saying
if it was Marcus Rashford, would you say the same?
It's not a penalty.
Yeah, I would say it's soft.
No, if it was Rashford, you bias. You bias to Man United people. Yeah, I know you.
Yeah.
Soft is soft. Soft
hang on.
Soft is soft.
Okay, but I want
Clear
to
penalty. Clear penalty.
Medium.
Clear
it's like an
penalty.
egg. It doesn't matter how it comes. It's still an egg. It can be soft. It can be hard. It can be scrambled. Penalties is penalties.
Guys, we trust in the VAR. We trust in technology. In technology, we trust.
Yeah. Wonga, you taking notes of this? Next season. Okay, we're taking notes. When things go out of the way.
Do you see what happened to Luis at the beginning of the season against Wolves? Do you guys remember?
No one remembers Arsenal games, Wonga.
Hey, you guys remember?
Claudio, please write it down. Please write it down, Claudio.
This is being recorded. We're probably safe.
No, but we don't know what. We need to know what episode number so we can come back. And say
what
that,
time are we in? He's right. Time tags.
No, man.
Bring in Arjun is the voice of reason. He comes
Okay, wait.
Yes. It's a penalty for him.
You're trolling English fans. Let's talk about this. I just want to unpack this. So, in 2004, we're going back to that Euro where Portugal had the opening game against Greece. And Greece won that game 1-0. I can't even remember what the score was, but they were given a penalty. They were given the penalty, okay? And the penalty in question was a Greek player running into a Portuguese player, sticking his leg out going to ground, literally sticking his leg out. He's running this way. The ball's gone that way. The Portuguese defender's there. He sticks the leg out. He goes down. The next day, I go to a refereeing course, and I'm one of the dummy players. Nick, you know how the drill goes. You do the exercise, and they do this thing. I'll end up getting in an argument with one of the refs about the ref saying exactly what you just said. And this is the same rule since 2004. Was there contact? Yes or no? Yes. Was the contact enough to bring the player down? Was the contact the reason for the player going down?
That's the question.
That's the question. I asked that question. They said no, but before I answer that question, was there contact? Yes or no? So you have to say yes. They're like, well, there you go. But like logically, that doesn't make sense. In the same case last night's situation, penalty, not penalty. The fact of the matter is, the player was going down before that second contact was in.
Can I just say, so you're saying that a rule that's been consistently enforced since 2004 is wrong?
We're complaining about. So we can't change the rules.
But I'm just saying, from 2004, what I'm saying is, not all I'm saying is from 2004 this has been an issue.
Game's gone soft. Game's gone
soft, like an Easter egg in the sun, and we're all sitting here crying into our Italian flags all about it. Look at us.
Claudio, you remember Arsenal game?
I love it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't wait for your tears on Sunday. Yeah, I can't wait for them. Yeah, I love the smile.
Who are you going to support next? You have to find out who's in England's qualifying group for the World Cup, so you find out which countries you support next.
Matt, I've supported one team and one team only this tournament.
Only because they're still in. If Italy were out, you'd all be there in Spanish flags.
But no, I wouldn't. Ask Claudio.
No, he's been Italy from day one. He's been Italy.
But he has because they're still here.
No, but that's
he has.
That's the team I asked for. Don't forget, that's the team I asked.
But Claudio, just thinking about it, Claudio, and Jens, everyone. If you think about it, with the thing that look, I agree. VAR needs to be there. You need to be able to check. You need to be able to check things. But you see, like Sterling's one, we debate about it. Was there contact? What, and all that stuff, right? But no one's going to apply that same scrutiny to anything that happens outside the box. And for me, if you're going to do that, if you're going to do it inside the box, you need to do it outside the box.
That's
the same thing. Just because a foul, the reason a penalty is given because it's a foul in that square box. That's what it is. It's just that's what it is.
Okay. Maybe it was.
Welcome, man. You haven't been live with us ever. That's only taken you like 70-something episodes, but thank you, sir. Thank you.
Matt, would you say we deserved another penalty in the game anyway?
Yeah, the Kane one, definitely.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to disagree. I don't know what happened with the Kane.
I do need to say that Enzo knows what he's talking about, just in case you haven't read his comment. He's a well-versed man in this world, and he's an intellectual man, so thank you very much, Enzo. I don't trust
someone with such a clearly Italian name to be impartial on this one. Like, me and Nick don't count because we're too biased towards England. Enzo Rolandi walks up and suddenly he's an impartial voice of reason. No, I'm not buying that. That's just Cello under a pseudonym.
What are you saying, Nick? What are you saying?
Oh, goodness.
No, so we should have had another penalty. You guys can cry all you want, so take that penalty away, give us another one and we score it.
Why did they keep the one the other way, though? Do you guys know?
That's what confused me. I don't know what the foul was for. Because it should have either been a penalty or nothing. Are they saying that as Kane fell down, he committed a foul?
I'm telling you, another conspiracy. Conspiracy, the second one. He didn't give that one, so when he went back down the tunnel there for extra time, he got chirped so much, and he had a look at it, and he was like, damn, I made a mistake. And that was the ref making an amends. That's what it is.
That's the other conspiracy. Well, if we're dealing in facts, okay?
No, we did
England are in the final. And you guys just have to take a spoon of cement and, harden the fuck up and get over it.
As I can't wait to Sundays.
Seno is quiet.
Tuesday's compulsory, guys. Tuesday's compulsory.
No, it is compulsory because I know Matt is okay. We won't catch him for the next 2-3 weeks if they lose.
All five of us have to do the show on Tuesday. All 5 of us have to do the show on Tuesday. No matter what
but we all have to
every time Spurs lost last season, he never came on.
Tournament. That's what we have to
I'm not going to be there regardless because if we lose, I'm going to be drunk for a week. And if we win, I'll be drunk for 2 weeks.
We want you the next day. We want you just to like wake up and like, how's it, guys?
It came
home.
It came home and I stayed home.
Came
And I
home.
stayed home.
Guys, something like that, you know.
Yeah, look, I mean, like
goodness.
I said, me and Nick were talking about it, and like I said, there's no guarantees. England could lose it, and I think we're not going to lose because there was a soft penalty in the semi. We're not going to, that's really got nothing to do with it. We're gonna, if we win or lose, we will win or lose.
Look at this comment. What is
go.
going on here? The English. Yeah. You guys are playing things. I don't know what's going on.
I think people are a little bit
God save our
excited.
gracious queen. Long live our.
It's the anthem, man. It's the national anthem.
I know, this is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
look,
gonna
very
be
But
good.
I agree, Matt.
Yeah.
I think if you
God.
I am, I think a lot of, or let's call the other teams, the rest of the world, essentially are upset with us because we are like the English really know how to support their team and they really know how to enjoy when they win. And I think,
Also,
let's be honest, guys.
They get very angry when they don't win. Let's be honest as well.
No, 100%. But let's just be honest, guys. Like, I think every English fan has this sort of underlying feeling that it could go tits up on Sunday. But you also got to give them credit, guys. We haven't been to a final since '66. They're just enjoying the ride. Like,
No, 100%.
they enjoy it as much as they can. And I'm loving it. I love my WhatsApp groups and people are giving me shit. And I just put the English flag there and I put a home sign there and I say it's coming there. It's going home. Coming home. And it just annoys people. So I've got a few days of that and hopefully it extends beyond Sunday. But I'll enjoy it up until the end of the game.
That is also, that's the thing about being an England fan as well. It's like, you can't just enjoy this because the whole world.
Stu coming in there with the wisdom. The last time England were relevant, the Queen had no wrinkles and her tits did not touch her knees.
Claude is going to get cancelled in England for that comment. Yes. We're gonna get cancelled.
That's not my comment. I'm just reading Stu's comment. I don't know.
We are gonna get
looks
cancelled.
like a golfer as well. That was a hole in one there from Stu.
Well, there'll be like viewer restrictions in the UK now for this show. Like, you are not in a geographic location to watch this video.
Damn, guys, you guys are killing me.
What were you saying, Matt?
No, I was saying like that. It's always weird supporting England because it's like whenever we're doing crap, everybody wants to talk to us about it. Like, oh, England, the shit, whatever. And when we're doing well like this, everyone's like, but what's gonna happen when you lose? Like, mate, I'm watching my team. What's yours? Like, I haven't asked you what's gonna happen when Italy lose. I mean, Wonga will just change back to supporting someone else. But for the rest of you guys, like, just I'm watching my team. Why does everybody care so much about my team? It's crazy. Like, everybody's obsessed with
Matt. Like, if England do win, what are we gonna do with ourselves? It's a running joke for this many. Like, that's what England is. England have been, and you can't deny this. For the last how many years, England have been the running joke, and that's why if they manage to not be the joke anymore, what are we going to laugh at? That's the problem.
Well, we could probably laugh at France. I think
But
France and Germany are worth a giggle.
You know, if England win this, they're probably the best team in the world. How does that make you all feel?
No, that's fair.
But, I mean,
that's
those rankings are always weird as well. Like, it's like
just
England
agree with me, Matt. Come on, bro.
Yeah, England the probably best team in the world. Like on form, Yeah, England best team in the world.
England are the you sounded super confident.
So Claudia, you haven't unwrapped. Is it Claudia? You said you were going to unwrap how the final is going to go. Do you get what Matt and myself are feeling? Like, I think you might have an idea.
Yeah,
how the final's going to go. Yeah, I think it's quite clear.
I think look, all I know, and you can't fault all these things with tournament football and football in general. The pieces need to be aligned, and so far for both Italy and England, things have aligned superbly. And from England's perspective, I think the stars they're making definitely a straight line there. Yeah, and if I'm looking at if the Portuguese could win the Euro a couple of years ago with the shit side they had, and with Eder scoring in the final against a really good the French team that went on to win the World Cup. Without Ronaldo, football's seen stranger things, and I don't think in Italy, England, whoever wins that final is not going to be too strange. I think both sides at the end of the day would have been deserving,
No, they're
but
both
nonetheless,
deserving,
I don't want England to win.
Tell us how you really feel.
Okay, Arjun, guys, we might as well give predictions here. We might as well give predictions. So we're gonna start with Matt at the bottom. We're gonna go as Matt, Selo, Nick, Wonga, then myself, and then obviously Arjun and whoever else is watching. Please feel free. Steve, Youth Booth, and whoever else, give us your predictions. Let's see
Louis,
them.
if he's still
Louis,
there,
and
Dia,
anyone else.
Ahmad,
Pumulani,
everyone
please
else.
tell us here.
Well, I
Ryan.
mean, I think it's going to be a really tense game. I'm not. Like Nick said, England fans, we are strange beasts. We're going to go into this real confident, real singing, and then as soon as it blows, I'm going to start shitting myself for 90 minutes. And I think, I'm going to go with my heart. I'm not going to let my brain into the discussion because it's just going to make me sad. And I think my heart tells me England are going to win it. I don't think it's going to be comfortable. I think it's going to be much like the Denmark game. I think it's going to be a scrappy 2-1 kind of a thing, possibly in extra time. I love Arjun. This is the first game Arjun's given us goals before the 90th minute, guys.
Just wait for it. Wait for it.
Always.
What match is that?
Classic Arjun. Classic Arjun.
First game to have goals before the 90th minute in Arjun's eyes. But I think England are going to win it. I think it's be 2-1, and I think they're going to do just enough to give me a heart attack during the course of the game.
Yeah. Am I up next?
No, it's Selo.
It's me.
Selo.
Yeah, it's gonna be a draw in extra time, and then it's gonna go to penalties. Italy's gonna win it on penalties.
Although this Euros, every time a team has had penalties twice, they've lost the second time. Happened to Switzerland, happened to Spain, might happen to Italy. If we're gonna go conspiracy theory on it,
They'll break it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Nick.
I agree with Matt. I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory. I think England are going to go ahead. I think we're going to get a bit of a scare. I think Insigne is going to... I love him. I think he's incredible. I think he's going to score. And then I think our captain's going to get us over the line with a bit of magic from Jack Grealish supplying him with an assist. And yeah, we'll be lifting the trophy.
Is that a classic case of supply and demand between Grealish and Kane?
Yeah,
all right,
that's
Wonga.
it.
I rate it'll be a 1-1 in 90 minutes. Then extra time, Italy will get a goal. I don't think it'll go into penalties.
Huh. Interesting. I am 100% convinced that Ryan is on the good shit. I mean, 4-0 England with Kane, all 4 goals. How? All 4 goals. Can you guys see that?
He's going to do one with his left, one with his right, one with his head, and one with his beautiful tummy right at the end. Just
that's where you went to that one. I was like, oh, as soon as he started doing that, I was like, okay. Man, I think this one's definitely, no doubt, it's going to go into extra time. Whether or not it gets to Wonga saying no penalties, some of you saying penalties, it's going to definitely, I just hope we see goals, and I hope it goes to extra time. And, the stars are just right now. They are aligning for the English. I mean, at Wembley, let's just think about, I think Stu said, what does he say here? He says, get the hype, or they get hype and then builds them up, and the fall is even greater and sweeter. So the big thing about this is final at Wembley with all this anticipation and expectation and everything else. I mean, what would the feeling be afterwards? I mean, in England, never mind everything that's happening. That's just the thing that I'm thinking, the pitfall, rather. I mean, if I'm you guys being in South Africa, what would that be like?
If you want a sort of Premier League season start to be absolutely wrecked with sort of no excitement for football, support Italy on the weekend. The Premier League need England to go and win this. Let's be honest. Imagine the start of the Premier League after England's just won the Euros. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's going to be...
I mean, everyone's just going to be raging to get into stadiums and flipping. It's going to be incredible to see come August. So Yeah,
Stu,
I don't want to think
win
about
or
that.
lose, Stu. There's going to
Don't
be
worry,
arrests on Sunday night. Win or
Man
lose.
United have sold all their season tickets, so we sorted. Don't worry.
Good.
Yeah, you've
Did they
sold
sell
them.
season
But
tickets,
your
or the
atmos-
dudes who invaded the
Listen.
stadium just made a home now? They just set up like
Your-
sleeping bag. They just moved in.
Squatters.
Listen, you always sell your season tickets, but you guys could do with the uplift in terms of your atmosphere. So I think you need England to win, because if they lose, your atmosphere is going to get worse, and it's quite bad at the moment. Boring Old Trafford.
I just know, like, we know having what's his name on here, Chris on the show, the man from the Scouser there in Liverpool, saying, they don't even support England. So Liverpool will be fine either way, Nick. So that rule doesn't apply to them, I don't think.
Ah, come on. There's a lot of
Family
Scousers
club,
watching England. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee.
Yeah. They say that because they don't like to admit they lose stuff, but they're all watching it. I think if win or lose, it's going to be a huge night. It's going to be massive. The come down from not winning a tournament. It's the same for England as it is for every other country, except that our stuff gets broadcast, and all of you guys are going to be poking fun at us because you'll suddenly be Italian, saying "Ciao Bella." Look at me eating a pizza. I'm Italian. We'll have to deal with all of that.
That's actually a good idea.
On Sunday, I know I'm going to get
Still,
pictures
have
of all
that
of
slice
you
ready.
pizza.
Take a
Safe
selfie with that slice of pizza on Sunday.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible, but it is what it is. We came that close. If we don't win it, we don't win it. And like me and Nick have both said, there's always that sense that it could be like that. But there's an opportunity to win it. There's an opportunity to see England lift the European Championship, and that's immense. That's something that we've never been in a final in my lifetime. It's something I'm going to get to share with my sons. Win or lose, it's going to be an amazing night, an amazing memory for me. And to be honest, I've loved the journey to get here.
Win or lose, it will not be an amazing night. Trust me. I flew to Ukraine to see Liverpool lose in the Champions League final. It's not as fun, even though going all the way there was quite fun. But then there's a big low the next day. I want to ask you guys something serious.
What's your prediction? You didn't give us your prediction.
He's on the fence.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. It's gonna be a draw, and it's gonna go to penalties, and then Italy's gonna win, guys. So we know all the babies that were made and obviously born a year later during COVID are called coronials. Question is, if England win, what are we gonna call the English babies that were conceived on the night that England won?
Coming homers.
Homies.
Homies.
That was Christy shouting in the background. Homies.
Nice one, Christy.
I like that.
Okay. Also, we're gonna have final thoughts now. Nick, we got a question from Arjun asking, what's happening with the takeover? Saudis having cold feet with Newcastle.
No, actually, Amanda Stavely, who is the sort of broker, was quoted yesterday on a podcast saying that they are still very interested. They're at the office, still at the door of Mike Ashley. There's actually arbitration happening with the Premier League in 2 weeks' time, which might unveil a lot of ugly truths about what the Premier League sort of keeping away from the public domain. And there's been talk that sort of Newcastle want full transparency, and they want to know, if you've got nothing to hide, Premier League, let's let the arbitration be transparent for the public. So obviously the Premier League haven't commented. They want it behind closed doors because they obviously don't want to be exposed. So I think a lot will be unveiled in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So it is still very much on.
Good to know. Okay, and then another serious, I think I see Arjun saying, children are going to be named Shoberto and then Carlosians. What would be the most common name for the English to name their children if they do conceive on the night that England win the Euros? What would they be naming their children?
Probably Harry, isn't
it?
Harry Maguire, Harry Kane, Jordan Henderson, Jordan Pickford,
Raheem,
Luke,
Jack. I think I said Jack.
Kyle.
Okay, I guess we're just naming the whole English squad. But out of all of them, like, which one would be the most popular apart from Harry? Harry
and Jordan, I think, because there's Jordan Henderson and Jordan Pickford.
Both. I don't know if they're the most favored between the English players there.
But I think
I'd say Raheem.
Raheem.
Raheem, yeah, that's also a good one.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in with a shout.
Or you might just get a first name thrown out there for babies called Sucker. Just randomly.
Bukayo. That's right. Randomly.
No, not Bukayo. They just name their kid Sucker.
They can do the full name
What's your
thing.
first
I've
name,
heard
lad?
that.
What's your first name, lad? Sucker.
Sucker weight.
Yeah.
Sterling weight.
Or Kane. They'll just call their child the boys Kane.
Jeez, actually, yeah, we just need to keep our eye on Nick and Matt on the match and make sure there isn't anything that comes afterwards. A couple of months later.
9 months down the line, just watch out, eh?
Hey.
Check out nervous Nick is getting now. Now it's like, oh, maybe this is all right. Okay, guys. Silo, final thoughts, and then Wonga, Matt, final thoughts, and obviously Nick, fine. I know you spoke about Newcastle, but if there's anything else you do want to say, you more than
man. I think my day on Sunday is going to start in the early hours of the morning. Watching Copa America final between Brazil and Argentina, and then
Hey, wait, we have a shoot on Sunday, gents. Don't forget that, eh? Just saying before you give your outline, your itinerary there, Silo.
But that's my itinerary. I haven't seen anything else in my diary. That's what I'm saying.
We'll talk off air. We'll talk off air.
All the best, England. If you guys win, we are happy because we got Premier League players in the team. If you guys lose, we're happy because there's England tears. Other way.
Hey, welcome, Ayo, and welcome, Jason, coming to the end of the show. Timed this really well. Hey.
Just wanted to say that. Look, I think it'll be a bang of the game. Everything else is. I mean, all the other games have been good and entertaining. I'm just hoping, no matter who takes it, really, I just hope actually it does matter if Italy take it.
You see, you're a neutral one guy. You don't actually care. You got there your Italian flag. You're just there for the bang.
But I think it will be a good game, and that's mostly what I'm hoping for. So yeah.
I love that. Doesn't matter who wins as long as we're all friends at the end. Yeah, to me it matters. It matters a lot. I'm gonna be nervous. I'm gonna be nervous from the time that I get off this call until probably the final whistle on Sunday. So
just stay drunk. Just stay drunk for the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's gonna, like Arjun said, that's gonna make it hard throwing my kids around, and I've been on a 4-day bender just before I do it. So I think it's gonna be. Yeah, fair play, Arjun. It's been a while coming. My son doesn't know that that's actually the point of football yet. He's going to be very surprised to see it happen. So it is going to be a huge game. It's going to be a massive weekend. It's to me, it's got. It's even bigger than when Spurs were in the final of the Champions League. As much as that was also a massive time distance between our last trophy, the build up is it feels more. This one feels more special. This one feels more important. It's going to be immense, and this is what football is all about. You know, win or lose, the heartbreak, the excitement, the tears, the fun. That's why we do this, right? Like we don't really watch this because we want to watch our team slog it out week in, week out, doing nothing. You watch it because you want to see the glory. And this is why we love football. And I can't wait. I can't wait to be scared and afraid and happy and sad and all of it during the course of the 90 minutes. And I can't wait to watch England lift the trophy and send you all pictures of my bangers and mash dinner.
Listen, all of you have seen your teams lift a trophy in your lifetime of supporting your respective football clubs.
Yep.
And I've never. So for me, it's huge. It will be incredible to watch. And just to end off, you know, he drinks the vodka, he drinks the Jaeger, his head's fucking massive. Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire. Come on, boys.
Stop it. All right, guys. Man. 3, 2, 1. We're going to call it. Are you ready? I'm counting down. 3, 2, 1.
Stop it.
I think we'll need to bring in the Harry Maguire song when the season starts.
All right, everybody. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you for those who joined us. Arjun, you're an absolute legend. Jason, are you? Stu, who've joined us for the first time. Who else joined us for the first time? Ryan.
Ryan
needs to come back more often. I like that guy.
All right, everybody, have a good evening. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.